Hello and welcome, bookworms. Welcome to this week's episode of The Contented Narrative. We will be looking at The Winter Garden by Alexandra Bell. Now, I really enjoyed this, and as anybody knows, I mean, obviously I've got my little garden tattoo, my little, like, you know, step into the future. You know, I love my photography. I love taking pictures of gardens. I love, like, The Secret Garden, the book, the film, everything. And so when I sort of like read the premise of this, where it's this magical garden that appears for the lost souls, and then it runs a competition, and you've got two people that are competing, and if they win it, they get a wish from the Winter Garden. Anything they want, anything at all, they get that wish. And I was like, oh my god, fantastic, love it. And the descriptions through this, like the descriptions of the Winter Garden and the Spider Queen, you know, the descriptions of when they start building their spectacular gardens, the magical, the mystery, everything. Loved it. Loved every single second of that. Cannot fault it. Absolutely. I want to go see the Winter Garden. I know it's not a real place, but I want someone to build it. So anyone out there who's really good with, like, you know, gardens, got a green thumb or a silver thumb, but it leaves you with a like, sometimes when you're reading books and they're quite visual, you're kind of going, ugh, next. But this one, it was just visual enough that I could see it. I could almost believe that I was there, and it was fantastic. The only downside to this book is one of the characters. So there's two main characters. Apologies. There's two main characters. Beatrice is like the one that it follows from the beginning. And her wish, and I'm not going to tell you what her wish is, but her wish is very simplistic, and it's kind of like, okay, I understand why you want this wish. I get it. But then she finds out that her best friend is also wanting a wish from this garden. And her best friend is in a relationship where she does not feel safe. She's lost one of her twin daughters. She's not happy. And her wish is a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more, I mean, they are both selfish wishes. They are, because all wishes are selfish. It's very unlikely that you're going to meet someone who wishes for something and it's not selfless in some small way. But her wish felt more like, okay, I completely understand. And when she was having this, and like when she was opening up to Beatrice and having the conversation and being like, I've been put forward to the Winter Garden as well, I'm entering the competition, Beatrice just turns on her and is like, no, my wish is more important. I won't pull out. You don't matter. And I'm like, And even when this friend is trying to be like, I promise that I'm starting to see these things, and I'm starting to think that if you get your wish, your life is going to change in a way that you're not expecting, and you're not going to be happy. Beatrice is like, no, you're self-centered and all of that. And I couldn't stand Beatrice towards the end of the book. I really, honest to God, couldn't. And it's a shame, because all the rest of the characters, you know, you love them, you hate them, that's fine. But I feel like Beatrice was supposed to be a little bit more, you're supposed to care about her a bit more, and I just didn't. Like, I was sat there going, this is your best friend. And also, like, the person that's helping you with these orchids and stuff, you're talking down on him because he was a gardener and you were like a lady, fine. But what are you talking down to him for? Like, he's helped you above and beyond. Like, he's a really good guy. Stop being such a witch. And I just feel like the magic behind it, and you get into the lives of these people and you go, okay, great, you know, I'm really happy. And at times your heart is breaking, and it's such a vivid book. So I would say, honestly, 100% give this book a read. Like, I know that Beatrice, I mean, I might be the only one. 100%, if you've read this book and you think I'm completely missing the point of Beatrice, leave it in the comments what you think the point is. And you leave it below if you think I've completely misunderstood her as a character. I'm absolutely happy for anybody to have that conversation with me. I honestly, as I said before, I'm just putting these reviews out there just in case people want to have a read of a good book. But I would say give this book a read. Like, it was just one that as soon as I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. I was like, oh my God, like, this is, you know, next page, like, who's going to win it? Like, the carousel that they start describing, like, all the everything, the tiger made of diamonds, like almost like starlight, and I'm like, oh, I need this in my life. So I gave it a 4 out of 5, but I think it's mainly because of Beatrice. Sorry, Beatrice. I'm sure some people out there like you, but as I am doing with all my videos, I will leave the link below for you to be able to buy your own copy if that is what you'd like to do. You can always go through Kindle, you can always go through the library. I would always say support your local libraries where you can, because they're safe spaces, they're absolutely fantastic. But I would definitely say read this and let me know your thoughts below in the comments, because honestly, it's a really enjoyable book, so I'd love to know if you think the same. Also, I know that Jared has commented on one of my previous videos saying that I need to read A Ghost Story by Peter Straub. It is on my to-read list. I have already read it, so it will be a reread, so don't worry, Jared, I have not forgotten about you. Just to let you know that obviously it's just a bit of a long read, and because I've read it a couple of years ago, I just need to reread it again to refresh my memory. But thank you for the recommendation. I will certainly give it a read. And again, thank you so much for all your continued support. And remember, oh, the sun's come out. Look at that. I look very, very pale like a vampire. But remember to always keep it contento.